Hey y'all, my name is Ina, and this year I'm starting off with a fairly minimal and strict budget for like makeup and fun stuff, and I thought it would be fun to kind of share um, how I find all the stuff that I would have normally bought at a much lower cost, and just about like money saving tips in general. One of the biggest tips I can share is having one of these like spatty daddies or whatever they're called. Like, this is a knockoff from Amazon, but because I'm gonna start with moisturizer first, and I'm using like the Sailor. I get this at Target. I don't know when I bought it. It's lasted me, I'm sure, over a year. I also don't do makeup and skincare like every single day like I should, at least with skincare. And anyway, so I'm almost out of this. Like, the pump isn't working anymore, but I know for a fact that there's a bunch more I can get out of here. So sometimes I'll just kind of like try to get as much as I can out with rubbing this on the sides of the inside of the moisturizer bottle, and then sometimes once I won't be able to do that anymore, I'll use this. And it is insane how much longer products will last you when you actually use all of it, because a lot of times like it looks empty, but in reality, like, since I was about to throw this away, I've still got several months more use of it. Like, it's insane. So that's number one tip, how much money you can save with like using the last bit of your product. So I'm just going to, and this dries really fast, so I'll just do some of that before I go in with the rest of my makeup. And this sets super fast, so I'm going to go in with a primer. I usually never use primers, but just for the sake of video, I thought it would be fun. I have, like I said, I never use primer, so I only have like one regular primer and then two samples. I have like the Cover FX mattifying primer sample. I have the illuminating, I think this is Jane Iredale, or what is it? I don't even know. Probably Jane Iredale, maybe Cover FX. I don't know. I do have the Cover FX grip primer, but like there's a bunch of hype about it. I personally don't notice a difference. I don't like the texture or smell of it, so I barely ever use it. I'll go in with the illuminating one just to see what it does. And I hate samples, honestly, because like I'm not going to use this whole sample at one time, but then it just dries out and you don't really get a chance to really try it, I guess. It just looks like lotion, you can tell. I'm not sure if I got too much or too little, but we'll see. I don't smell anything, and it just feels, oh, I guess there's like some pearlescence, and it feels the same as my moisturizer. I'm not super into very like dewy, shiny stuff. I want my makeup to look as natural as possible, like I don't have any on. Next, I'll go in with Purito, my like foundation. I guess it's like a BB cream. Doesn't have any scent. It's supposed to have really good coverage, and it's $10 on Amazon. So if you're trying to save money with makeup, this is $10 on Amazon. They used to only have 3 shades. Luckily they expanded, and now this is the lightest shade. I have found one foundation that I absolutely love. They don't have the right shade for me. Their lightest shade is super white, and their second shade is too dark for me. Maybe I'll show you real quick, actually. So this is the Saint Cosmetics that I was just talking about. This is my absolute favorite. It's the most skin-like and natural on me. And also, this one is not cheap. This was like $55, I think, but you can see with their pump mechanism, it looks like you'll actually be able to get most of your product out. It might not be bad, actually. Maybe that's actually decent now. I thought it used to be too dark. But this one, like, melts into your skin so well and looks so natural. Way better than anything else I've tried. And I have been trying so many recently, and none of them just work. They all look cakey, they all look dry. Okay, and then this is Purito, just for the sake of See, it's very similar. This, I guess this one's more yellow, that one's a little bit more pinky. I'm gonna swatch them on my hand to like really see the comparison of the shades and undertones. This is the Saint and this is the Purito. Very different undertones, but like they both look decent on my face. I also have the Chantecaille. It's in the shade Bliss, but again, it's not my shade. Alright, so I put on some of the Bliss, Saint, Purito, and Bliss, and you can tell it's like literally orange. Alright, so I'm gonna go in with the Purito. Triple checked all those other shades. And this is supposed to have really good coverage, and my biggest thing is coverage. Like, it's the only reason I wear foundation. I don't have a whole lot on my face that I need like covering up on, but just the redness is sometimes just really annoying. And I'm just gonna blend this Purito over the other colors that I was testing there. I'm still trying to figure out if the best way to apply this is with fingers or with a beauty blender. I hate brushes for foundation, at least, so I will not be doing that. But I'll do it with a beauty blender today. I've been doing it with my fingers and I just can't tell which one's better. I also don't put a whole lot of foundation under my eyes because I don't want my under eyes to look cakey once I do concealer. Definitely get so much less coverage with a sponge versus my hands. So sometimes what I like to do actually is to rub this out with my hands on my face first and then like pat it out with the beauty blender. And I heard also that like this is like a Korean BB cream. I also heard that their stuff works best if you rub it out with your fingers because there's something that when it's rubbed in your skin, something's activated or something like that. But you can already tell how much better the coverage is with doing that with my fingers. I have some foundation on there, but you can still see how much redness it covered, and it looks, this is the most skin-like foundation I have found by far. Not even like, because not even in like a lower price range, just in general, like the best. So I'm gonna do the same thing I did on the other side. I'm gonna rub it in a little bit before patting it out with a beauty blender. This is an actual beauty blender. It's some knockoff from Amazon, but it works great. I also don't really care to put much product on my forehead and then on my eyes. Usually I'll do concealer anyway. But I have like a couple of wrinkles in my forehead, so I don't like when, if I ever like put too much foundation, it kind of just sits in there, and that is not a look I go for. I have an old iPhone. You're not gonna get the best maybe representation of what it looks like super up close. Maybe you will, but I don't know. It looks really good. To me, it looks very skin-like, way more than any other foundation I have tried. I don't have any on my forehead. Sometimes if I have like some blemishes or whatnot, I'll put some concealer over, but I won't put any foundation over. But yeah, you can see how pretty and skin-like it looks. Okay, and I'm just gonna let that set. I don't like to powder unless I have to, so I'll see how much I have to powder once it sets for a little bit. What I do next is concealer. I haven't tried very many non-toxic concealers. This is one of them that I've tried and I really like it. I got a new bottle on Black Friday, so it's on sale. Cover FX also has really good customer service. A lot of my makeup I get is based on like accessibility, how easily I can get it, and also like how the company is with returns and all that. I don't want to collect stuff that I'm not going to use, like if it's the wrong shade or a horrible texture or whatever. I use the shade and light, and I only use concealer because of such dark circles. Like if I didn't have dark circles, I don't care to like brighten or whatever. I only use it And it's like pretty close to my face shade, so I can kind of use it on my forehead too. Sometimes I use this very lightly all over, and it looks super nice too. And I let that dry for a little bit, not on my forehead but under my eyes, for a little bit more coverage. I also don't do my brows. My eyebrows are pretty full, and like I said before, I want my makeup to look as natural as possible. And with doing my brows, I feel like things just become really noticeable and obvious that it's not natural, so I don't care to do that. But I do want to try like the Thrive, like non-crease concealer, definitely Kosas. Ilia, I heard, doesn't have a whole lot of coverage. But there's just so many. There's so many new ones, and I just like all. Oh, I also tried the Saint. I have the Saint concealer, but it's just not. I'll use it on my eyes. So this is in the shade Alabaster. The Saint foundation is in the same. Their lightest foundation shade is in Alabaster, which is way too light for me. I'll put it on my eyes since I was gonna put concealer on my eyes anyway, so you guys can kind of see. It's nice and everything, but again, like this is also I think like $35 or something dumb. Like it's so expensive. It's super uber clean. So if you don't care, and honestly, I like the Cover FX one better for under my eyes. So I would rather buy that one. I know it's not as clean as the Saint, but honestly, it's more important to me to have a mediocre clean product, but that looks good and natural and not like creepy or anything like that. So right now you can see I have a lot of shine. I'm not a fan of that, so I think now I'll go in with some powders and have plenty of time to set. So I have the 100% pure powder Bamboo Blur. Again, I bought this I think when I started like using clean makeup back in 2018 or 2019. I still have like plenty, so this stuff lasts forever. I got this brush recently. I think it was like Eco something, I don't know, at TJ Maxx. But I just love how soft it is and big, and it just kind of like covers everything I need on the face. I always set my eyes over with just right over my lashes, because I find that setting my lashes also really helps with mascara. Depends on the mascara, but it's just easier like that anyway. And I don't like too much powder, but I find that this powder, like you can still see some glowiness. This powder doesn't like mattify everything to the point where like you look super dry. And then also I find that like this combination, this powder and foundation, this powder in general, once it has a minute to kind of soak into my face, it looks really good. Let me see if I can show you up close. It's also not cheap. It's also like 40 bucks, but 100% pure used to have really big sales, like 50, a lot of things were 50% off. That's when I would buy this. Once I powder, I'm gonna go in with bronzer. That's always my next step. Actually, first I'm gonna do eyeshadow. This is extremely old Jane Iredale. This was one of my very first also non-toxic buys. Alright, so I'm gonna go, I usually go in with this lightest shade. I usually just put it in like the inner corner with my finger and just kind of all over the lid. This was my only palette and for a very long time, and I just got some new palettes recently, like a few months ago. And then I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, and just in the crease-ish. Not very. I like to keep my lids on the lighter side, because I find that when I put in a lot of dark shadow and I don't have like a really bright or light base, my eyes look super small, and I'm not about that. So I get most of my Jane Iredale products from Pharmaca, and they're always doing a sale, like all the time, especially in Jane Iredale. Sometimes they're like 30% off. So I guess my second tip is always look out for sales and don't buy until you see a sale. I don't think I share this. My budget is $25 a month for beauty stuff, $25 a month for everything else that's not urgent, like clothes, anything from Amazon that I could live without, shoes, anything like that, because like I'm not a growing toddler. I don't need new clothes every 6 months. Do I want it? Yes. Do I want to save money? Yes. So that's literally all I'm doing for my eyes. And then I always like to do a little bit of eyeliner. I found a really good eyeliner. This is BiteBeauty eyeliner. BiteBeauty is at Sephora. They're not pricey, but like this is $25 at Sephora. I found this at TJ Maxx a couple days ago for $7.99, so like a third of the price. I find a lot of stuff at TJ Maxx and Marshalls, like Cover FX, Jane Iredale, Well People, Elf. I don't know how clean Elf is. I think it's pretty clean. I like Elf stuff. I'll use it. And what else? Honest Beauty, I see there a lot. There was a bunch of BiteBeauty lippies, yes, a couple days ago. I forget what other brands, but like there's always something I can find there. And it's so much cheaper than at the store. So anyway, I bought this. I was hoping it'd be good, and actually I really like it. So it's like it's not a very fine tip, which I was a little bit annoyed about because I like my eyeliner to be really thin. But it was so easy to apply, which that's really the biggest thing I care about. I haven't done liquid eyeliner in so long, so because I ran out, and I haven't bought a new one until recently. Definitely needing some practice now. I'm just gonna go into the other side with whatever's left. I'm not gonna redip. And when it's drier, I get such a better, like fine line that I like. I don't like to go in too close to my inner corner. I like to keep everything as bright as possible because then my eyes just end up looking super small. I don't like going out too far outside of like too much of a wing because my eyes are really sensitive and they'll water, and then it doesn't matter how long staying the eyeliner is, it always, I don't know if like what's in your tears, that it just always messes it up. Then I'm gonna go in with bronzer. My eyes are all done, and I'll do my mascara probably after. This eyeliner is not that great, but that's okay. I have a few bronzers. I'll use this one today. This is again like pretty, I bought it a long time ago from Flora Remedia. This looks really dark, but I really like it, and I apply it very, very sparingly. It's extremely pigmented. So I'll use this Real Technique, like probably buffing brush or something. Yeah, buffing brush. I'll show you a swatch. It is extremely pigmented, very, very, very creamy. Like you can see, that's a lot. So what I do is, and I like really natural makeup, so I'll put some on the brush and then pat it out on my hand. But now that I have some on my hand, I'll try to see if I can get some of that on the brush. And then I still like to start high up. I don't like my bronzer kind of dragged down. Some bronzers, I don't like when they look really red on me. At the same time, sometimes it can look nice if it kind of doubles as a blush. So I didn't get a whole lot on my hand, from my hand, so I'll add some on here. And I'll tap it off on my hand, and you can like look at that transfer. So pigmented. And then I'll put some, I'll stamp some on like that. That's dark. Whatever's left before I blend everything else, I'll do some right here. I don't like doing a lot on these areas because my forehead's already small. Like, I mean, it's not super big. I don't need to make it look a lot smaller. But you can see how, like, I'm just, like, that was one tiny tap. And you can see it's, like, never ending. You can see that like it almost looks red and it just like disturbs some of the redness under my skin. Once I finish everything from far away, it'll look good. And then I don't always go in with blush, but if I do, I've recently purchased this LYS blush in the shade Kindness. It's really pretty. I'll give you a little swatch next to the bronzer. Let's see. It's like a, I don't know. It looks good on me. Pretty neutral shade, I guess. Not leaning any crazy way. And I'll use my Fit Glow double-sided brush. I love this blush because I've tried the Tower 28 one that's similar to this, but that one I felt like was a little too goopy and emollient and just kind of like left my face really tacky. This one dries down. Again, I'll tap it out on my hand. I don't want to have a bunch of excess. A lot came off. And then I'll just tap it on and blend it out. And then, I don't know, I just go everywhere. And then I'll put some, and like, I don't even need to blend it. Like the tapping literally blended it in. But just for the sake of everything looking really natural and blended, I always go over everything with a sponge again. And I'll show you, once you see the final look, it looks really nice. Like it's a little glowy. It's a little, yeah. Alright, so now I just have mascara left. And as far as like budget mascara, I have a few. I'll show you. This is the Flower Beauty Warrior Princess. This one was $10, I think. It's not bad. I have on one side, on this side, my eyelashes are pretty straight, and on this side they're curly. So I find that this one can be like not do a whole lot, but then like it also can be kind of heavy and like not help any with the curl. Sometimes I like to use it as a base, and I can add a lot of volume if I pair it with another one. I have the Thrive, which I love because it's the tubing formula. It washes off super easy with water. Never get like raccoon eyes or anything, unless like I think this one's actually almost drying up. But I always like to have this one on hand because if I'm not looking for like volume and I just want a quick mascara look, I'll throw this on. It's super easy to work with for the most part. Once you start piling on too much though, it will not build on itself and just get super clumpy and like gross. The Honest mascara I have used for a very long time. I think this was my first like clean mascara, and I've tried so many. This one is just really easy to use and looks really nice and is like a 0 on the EWG scale, which I've learned a little bit about EWG, and it's not the end all be all like I thought it was. My new favorite is Rare Beauty. This one, oh, I forgot to share. This one's like $24, I think. This one, Honest Beauty, used to be like 12, now it's 16, and then this one's 20 bucks by Rare Beauty. I love the Rare Beauty one because it's not as dry as this one, but it's also not as wet as the Honest one. It's like right in between. And then usually I'll pair a couple of mascaras together. So today, I think I'll go with, today I'll actually pair these two. I've not yet paired these two together. I'll try it. Let's see. So this is what the wand looks like for this Princess Warrior one, or Warrior Princess. Also, mascara is probably where I take the most time with my makeup. It also dries super fast, so gotta work quick. And then this is the Honest one. Very, very different. It's got like silicone brush, I guess. I do not think this was a good combo. I think this was a mistake. Okay, that was a mistake. I don't like gaps in my lashes. I'm actually gonna go in with Rare Beauty because Rare Beauty has a really nice, tough brush. This is the Rare Beauty brush, and the Rare Beauty one really, like separates my lashes really well. I hope I'm not gonna pack on too much and just screw everything up. Okay. I think I need to go in with a... You guys, I hate when I overdo it on my lashes and then it's a pain to fix. My lashes is what I like to look best, honestly, so I will fix it. I think this would have been a good combo if I did maybe the Honest first and then Princess Warrior on top as a drier formula. Okay, once I ruin my eyelashes like that, it's really hard to redeem them for what they could have looked like if I hadn't screwed them up. This isn't the worst though. I've had much worse when this happens. And then it just gets to a point where I have to call it because the more... Alright, so I don't know what happened, my phone did not record the rest of that video and the other putting mascara on, and what I did, I ended up putting just the Rare Beauty on the other eye. I also just got a new phone earlier today, so I think this video looks so much better. But anyway, this is the final look. As you can tell, everything is kind of still there. The bronzer, blush, the foundation still looks really good. It's kind of like gotten kind of dry in a couple areas. But overall, from far and for what it's worth, it is pretty good. It's about 8, and I think I did my makeup earlier today around 12. And it's gonna look the same for the rest of the night. This is a foundation I've wore a few times already. So I also have on some Beauty Counter lip gloss. I like how shiny it is, and I just like to always have something glossy or balmy over my lips when they get dry. And anyway, I am excited to make another video when that time comes, whenever I have another bright idea or desire, or I'm in the mood, whatever. So see you all then.